Hey guys, it's Adrian, and today I have a fantastic sounding pair of earbuds. So these are Edifier's NeoDots wireless ANC earbuds. The Edifier NeoDots come packed with a ton of features such as LDAC, high-res wireless audio, there's up to 56 hours of battery life, ANC, wireless charging, multi-point functionality, wearing detection, and IP55 rating, a dual driver setup with 10mm dynamic drivers for bass performance and balanced armature drivers for mids and highs. These deliver some of the best sounding bass on any Edifier earbuds that I've experienced so far, and there's also a dedicated gaming mode. So let's take a closer look at how well the Edifier NeoDots perform, and a big thanks to Edifier for sending these out for review. In the box, we have the Edifier NeoDots wireless earbuds and charging case, manual, additional ear tips, a USB Type-A to Type-C charging cable. The charging case for the NeoDots has a little bit of heft to it, so it comes in at around 62 grams with the NeoDots already in them. And I think part of the reason for that is also because we have wireless charging on here, which is super convenient and handy. Now we have a USB Type-C port because you can charge this up that way as well. And then the Edifier logo on the rear here. On the side, we have a button, tactile for, pairing and resetting. And on the front, we have the LED indicator light and nothing at the bottom. And it's this type of matte finish that's kind of smooth to the touch. And then of course in the inside we have the NeoDots themselves. And each of the NeoDots comes in at around 6 to 7 grams. Now this is what it looks like on the exterior of it. And you can see it has this type of premium glossy type of finish with the Edifier logo. Kind of reminds me of the finish on the Stack Spirit S10s. And this is what it looks like from one of the sides. This is the right earbud. We have the metal charging contacts. And one interesting thing to note is with the NeoDots, you could see on the side here, we have this little indented area, and this is what we're actually going to use for touch control. So you're not going to tap the outside. You'll be tapping this indented area to go ahead and use the controls. And of course, there we have the speaker grill. Opening and closing the case is really easy, so you could actually do it one-handed if you like. And the magnets are strong enough so that even if you shake it upside down, they won't fall out. And grabbing the NeoDots is really easy as well. You can see very simple because you're grabbing it from the side versus it being kind of vertical, so pretty good design choice there. Here's a quick look at the specs. Feel free to pause or jump ahead to the next section. I'm going to pair the NeoDots for the first time with my phone, so I'll go ahead, open it up, hit scan, and it's actually found it already with the Google Fast Pair, so I'll hit connect, and I'll just wait for that to connect. And there we go, done. So now I can go into the settings here and I have the option to turn LDAC on or off. So I'll repeat the same process for my second phone. So I'll go ahead, press and hold the pairing button until I see the LED indicator lights come up, and I could see it again with the Google Fast Pair, hit connect. And I could see it at the top here. So now if I go back and I connect it on my other phone, I could see that the NeoDots are connected simultaneously on my Z Fold 6 and S24 Ultra. I'll start playing music on my first phone. And I can pause that and just play from my second phone now. And notice if I play on the first phone, it's still going to prioritize the last phone that was playing. So I would have to pause this and wait for the audio to kick over. Let's take a look at the settings in the Edifier Connects app. So at a glance, I could see the battery level for the right and left earbud. And one thing to note is that the high-res wireless audio icon is lit up, which means I'm going to get the best possible sound out of these because I am using LDAC, which you could see in the Bluetooth settings here. There is another area in the app that you have to turn it on, and I'll get into that later. Now you can go into the noise controls and you can set it to high noise cancellation, medium, low, ambient sound. And if you tap on ambient sound, there's a strength effect slider, which is pretty neat, and you could just leave it on 3 if you just want to hear, pretty much everything around you, and this works really well. You can also set it to wind reduction or turn all of these off and listen to the earbuds normally. Under sound effects, this is where you could choose the EQ. So there's a classic, heavy bass, which is usually what I prefer. And you can also go into customize, and you have 4 bands to go ahead and modify if you want to set your own EQ. And then you can also turn game mode on or off. In the rest of the settings, you could take a look at the manual, but let's go into touch controls and note that it shows you that the touch controls are going to be on the side again in this indented area, not on the exterior side here. So we have separate controls for the right and left earbud. So if I go to the right, a double pinch is going to be next track, a triple pinch is going to be the previous track, and then if you pinch and hold, it's going to be sound control. And notice with sound control, you can only select up to 3 of these. It says you can only select between 2 to 3. So if I'm mostly just going to go between high ambient sound and possibly wind reduction, I could choose that. But that is what it's set to by default. Now you also have the option to toggle game mode on and the voice assistant as well. And then you can also do this independently for the left control. So you have, a fair bit of functionality here. Now what you can't do is the single pinch. That's reserved for play and pause, which is fine. If we go into HD audio codec, this is where you're going to get the best possible sound. So you would pick your sampling rate of 96 kilohertz or a balanced sampling rate. Now you can also disable LDAC, and the only reason you would want to do that is if you need multi-point functionality, because if you do enable multi-point functionality, you are going to lose that high-res audio. So that's something to be mindful of. Now under press sensitivity, you could change it from all the way to 0 to 15, and I find that I leave it, or I need to have it on 15 because I do have to kind of press intentionally. And then we can also go ahead and enable or disable wearing detection, so you can have it just automatically pause and resume playback when you take them in and out, or it could pause when you take them out, but then you will manually resume playback if you like. You also have this option for Find My Product. It's going to play this high pitched tone to help you locate the earbuds. And then you can also change the prompt volume. So the default is 7. You could put it all the way down or put it all the way up. But one thing to note is that even if you put it all the way down, the music will lower where the prompt volume would normally play, even though nothing will play in terms of a prompt. So it's not, a very uninterrupted listening experience, let's say. And then you can also go ahead, power the earbuds off, or just reset them to factory. Controls are simple, so a single press will pause or resume music playback, and you could do that with either earbud. A double tap will increase my volume, and a double tap will decrease the volume. And I've also set it so a triple tap will jump to the next track, while a triple tap on the other earbud will go back to the previous track. Again, you could set all of this in the Edifier Connects app. And if I long press on the right earbud, it's going to cycle through the different noise cancellation modes that I've set up in the Edifier Connects app. So if I had to sum up the audio experience on these, I would say you're going to get clean, crisp, and rich sounding audio coming out of these. Now, when I listened, I mostly had LDAC on all the time, so I did have to disable multipoint. And I also listened with, the bass heavy equalizers most of the time. That's just what I prefer. So I recently reviewed Edifier's Stackspert S10, their wireless planar magnetic earbuds, which are their top of the line offering. And even after listening to those recently, I have to say I really enjoy the NeoDots. And if I had to choose between, either of those, I could just pick up any of them and I would be happy with the performance. Now, the bass performance coming out of these is something else. You're not going to be disappointed. Now, my daily drivers before I got these were the Edifier NeoBuds Pro 2, and those are fantastic sounding earbuds, great all-around earbuds, and these are a league above, and I can't believe just how much better these sounded. I guess it also could be due to the fitment. These do fit a little bit better for me. Now that bass, it delivers it hard. You get that nice thump, and there's the right amount of bass decay on there. It just sounds so good when you listen to songs where bass is prominent on there. Mids and highs sound so clean and crisp, and they're nicely tuned and balanced, and I'm just a big fan of brands going towards this dual hybrid driver setup. Yet costs more, but you could definitely hear that difference in basically any type of earbud I've kind of reviewed with that type of setup. So yeah, we have the 10mm drivers to drive bass, which you can hear it comes through so nice, so hard. You get that thump, and then for vocals you get that clarity, crispness, and there's great sound isolation with the balanced armature drivers. To date, these are some of the best sounding earbuds I've used from Edifier, and that's from me coming from their Stackspert S10 with the planar magnetic drivers, and that's really saying something. Those are tuned to be more accurate, and you could definitely hear it. These have a bit more personality, and if you're looking at all the different models, you're having a hard time choosing, or even if you're looking at the S10s and maybe it's a little bit out of your budget, just get the NeoDots. You're not going to be disappointed. That's just how great these sound. The ANC performance is also good on here, so it's going to do a fantastic job at minimizing, low frequency noises, but high frequency noises will make its way through. However, when it comes to wind reduction, they've done a fantastic job. I did take these out on a couple of windy days since the weather was like that, and it did a great job of, keeping me kind of in tune with the music. And they've also nailed the ambient mode on here. Now, there is a strength effect slider in the app that you can use, and I didn't find that I had to really reduce the volume that much to be able to hear what's going on around. So yeah, overall, it's a great performance. Here's an example of what the microphone audio sounds like coming out of the Edifier NeoDots wireless earbuds. I'm in a very quiet room with little to no ambient noise. I'm now going to play really loud simulated ambient background noise. And here's what the microphone audio sounds like from the Edifier NeoDots while you're in a very loud and noisy environment. With the low latency game mode activated, I have no problem with just casual gaming using the NeoDots on my phone. Smart wearing detection or in-ear detection works extremely quick and is super responsive. Now the fit on here is perfect for my ears, and I think that's why I had such great bass performance, because it's just such a tight and snug fit on here. Now when I put these in, unlike some of their other models maybe, I definitely know that these are in, so it definitely expands a little bit, but again, the fit is just so snug, and I can still wear it for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. It's not like it makes it uncomfortable, but yeah, if you have smaller ear canals, just something to be mindful of. The battery life on these is rated for up to 17 hours on a single charge, which is amazing. Of course, it's going to come down to how you use this. Are you using it with ANC on or off, on the medium or high setting? Do you have LDAC on? What's the volume level? But I could say, I'm easily getting over 10 hours with these, just if I'm kind of estimating, so you can easily get that or more. Now, when you pair it with the case, you're going to get up to 56 hours. And when you do need to charge these up, a 15-minute charge will give you up to 5 hours of playtime. Now, you can also listen with one bud in the case and, one in your ear if you want to further prolong battery life. All right, so can I recommend the Edifier NeoDots wireless ANC earbuds? And it is such an easy recommendation from me. These are kind of in a league above all of the other models I reviewed so far. They're just the best all-around option. The sound coming out of these is so fantastic, and the bass is so satisfying thanks to that dual driver setup. And you get all of the premium features such as LDAC codecs, high-res wireless audio, wireless charging, multipoint, wearing detection, and IP55 rating, Google Fastpair. Basically, this comes with everything that you'll need. So if you're interested in checking out the Edifier NeoDots, which I highly recommend, I'm going to leave some links down below for you to check it out or to learn more. Here's a coupon code that you can use to get 25% off the NeoDots, which is amazing. I'll leave it in the video description and pinned comments as well. And if you found this video helpful, please consider checking out some of my other reviews on earbuds and headphones. I review a bunch of different types. I'm sure you'll find something you like. And I also review a bunch of different tech on this channel, which I think you might find interesting as well. And if I can ask a huge favor, would you mind liking and subscribing? It truly does help me out as a growing channel. And I'll see you in the next one soon.